Shall we try that? Or are you okay with that? That's great. Many thanks for that introduction. I'm most grateful, and also to the organisers of the conference for inviting me. It really is a pleasure to be here and to have heard the keynotes and the other presentations. And it's wonderful because all my presentation was based on the internet. And that sense that the university has organised this disaster for me to test my resilience, I think this is wonderful at this moment. What I'd really love to do is to focus on just some of the things that I've heard from the other keynotes to start with. And then to move us into something which I hope you'll find focuses on what Mark stressed in his keynote. And that is, at the moment, just being in front of you, and as I look round, I can see most of your eyes focus in this way. And therefore, Mark talked about being a sage on the stage. But he did say, look, perhaps you could try to move to being a guide on the side. And that has stayed with me. So what I'm hoping is that you find, as the keynote progresses, that I really am focusing on the embodied knowledge in this room, because if you look at my embodied knowledge, and then you can't do it because you can't see yourselves in the way that I can see you, but I'm faced with a room full of people whose embodied knowledge is genuinely enormous. The values-based and understanding, I've heard these in the presentations. And you'll hear me trying to suggest that it will be by bringing your embodied knowledge literally into the space that can be filled by the internet that we will spread the influence of the members of this organisation worldwide, as well as in your own localities. So this idea of moving from that sage on the stage to the guy on the side is really crucial to this address. So I'm hoping you feel that I'm authentically committed to trying to show how to bring your embodied knowledge into the public domain and to share that as widely as possible so that your influence can spread. Now, one of the ways in which I think that we could do this is by focusing on just one idea which has only got one representative in the whole of the programme, and it relates to a question which John Reuters asked in his presentation. It's on your programme. And if you look at the programme, you'll see that there's only one title with I in the title. Only one, and that is John's. And John was asking about, how can I do something? And my question, which is always focused on, how can I improve what I'm doing, seems to me to be vital if we're going to bring your embodied knowledge into the public domain and spread it. And I've got enough resource on my computer to be able to show you quite a bit of what I was planning to show you through the internet. Because what I wanted to do was to show you how I could become a guide on the side through using that as a window. So rather than use it for a PowerPoint where I would be telling you things or putting statements that you could read, what I would like to do, and you're going to have to use your imaginations now, rather than me showing you, is to think of that as a window, which is actually showing you and allowing you access to a huge resource, which is worldwide at the moment. The presentation I have planned is already on the internet. It is on my web. It is on my website. So anybody around the world with the technology can actually access that, and it can be flowing into this room rather than from me presenting it to you. I'll also show you where you can access the master's and the doctoral theses of people like ourselves who've studied their own knowledge, brought it into the academy for legitimation, all with those questions of the kind, how do I improve what I'm doing, at the heart of their inquiry. Now, some of you will have been present when Audrey and Vanessa received the awards, and there were 2 other award winners as well for the teaching. But what struck me about Vanessa, as she talked yesterday, was if you saw the slides, you saw the eye right at the top, not as an arrogant eye, not as an egotistical eye, but a genuine eye asking a real question, how do I improve what I'm doing? And there was also, when Vanessa put her slide up, the question, what am I doing, was there. The second one talked about what do I care about, and that is really crucial. What do you care? What do we care about? And then she actually told us her story, her narrative, which carried her embodied knowledge and brought it into the public domain. Now, the importance of that is what I hope to show you, is that by making that available on the web, so globally that can be actually accessed, we will actually start to spread the influence of the values that really matter to us. Adri Beerfeld, who also received the award, again told the narrative which had her eye at the heart of what she was doing. And my language is to say that she was bringing her embodied knowledge, and this is what Ada was doing, into the public domain so that we could share it. But the eye was right at the heart of the inquiry. And it isn't something that I imagine everybody in this room, because of the titles on the programme, is used to doing. You're not used to actually saying, I really do have an enormous amount of embodied knowledge. It's huge in this room, it's massive. If we could find a way of bringing and sharing all the embodied knowledge of values and understanding in this room and sharing it worldwide, the world becomes a better place to be. Now, I do hope that that assumption of mine can be shared in this room. But I thought that, as I say, using this as a window, rather than to try to get you to read something, I just want to stimulate you to see if you would then, after today, go and access some of this resource so that you can actually see that, in my own case, there will be 36 years experience at the University of Bath, I've had 42 years of education, and you can access my story, and I put it in an appendix of this address. And there are 3 narratives which I've put there for you to access, so you can see some of the risks that I've taken, some of the resilience that I've shown, but in the process of trying to improve my practice and generate knowledge. So what I did was add it to the theme